These two pilots are flying an Airbus A330 across the Atlantic Ocean, a route they have flown hundreds of times before. It's the middle of the night. 4 hours have passed since departure from Canada. The passengers are asleep, the cockpit is calm, and everything appears completely normal. Until suddenly, something unthinkable begins to happen. The aircraft is slowly running out of fuel. Now imagine yourself in their position. Both engines fail. All you see outside is darkness and ocean. The nearest airport is over 120 kilometers away, and you're responsible for saving 306 lives. This isn't just an aviation incident. It's a story of human psychology, maintenance failure, missed warnings, and extraordinary airmanship. This is the story of Air Transat Flight 236. It's August 23, 2001. The flight departs Toronto for Lisbon with 293 passengers and 13 crew on board, flying a 2-year-old Airbus A330 powered by 2 Rolls-Royce engines. The captain is Robert Pish, a highly experienced pilot with over 16,800 flight hours. First Officer Dirk de Jager is monitoring the flight. Fuel on board is more than sufficient, well above minimum requirements. Everything is by the book. As per procedure, the crew manually checks fuel at every waypoint. At 30 degrees west, the fuel quantity is exactly where it should be. But behind the scenes, disaster has already begun. Minutes later, an unusual warning appears. Engine number 2 shows low oil temperature and high oil pressure, something most pilots never see in their entire careers. The left engine looks completely normal. The crew contacts maintenance, but no clear explanation is found. Based on experience, the pilots assume a sensor fault, a reasonable conclusion. And so, they continue. What they don't know is that fuel is leaking from the right engine rapidly. A week earlier, that engine had been replaced with a different variant. The parts didn't fit correctly. Clearance was forced. The aircraft was approved for flight. Over the Atlantic, the fuel pump ruptures. As fuel leaks, the aircraft's automated system transfers fuel from the trim tank to maintain balance, masking the problem. A normal message appears on the screen. The crew has seen it countless times before. This time, it appears 1 hour too early. The warning is missed. Eventually, a fuel imbalance message appears. Still, the crew believes the system is malfunctioning. They cross-feed fuel, unknowingly feeding the leak. Fuel quantity keeps dropping. By the time reality sets in, it's too late to reach Lisbon. The crew diverts to Lajes Air Base in the Azores. Then, at cruising altitude, the right engine flames out. Moments later, the left engine fails too. Silence. No engines. No thrust. No power. The aircraft deploys its ram air turbine. The cabin begins to depressurize. Air Transat 236 is now nothing more than a glider, descending toward the ocean. Captain Pish has one chance. Too fast, the landing gear won't deploy. Too slow, electrical power is lost. One mistake, and they ditch into the Atlantic. With help from military air traffic control, the crew performs an engines-out visual approach. They're too high. The captain makes a bold decision, a 360-degree turn to lose altitude. Then S-turns. The runway finally comes into view. There are no go-arounds, no second attempts. At 200 knots, the aircraft slams onto the runway, bounces, and comes down hard. The landing gear collapses. A small fire breaks out, but the aircraft stops safely. All 306 lives survive. The investigation later confirms the cause: maintenance failure, compounded by human psychology and missed procedures. Air Transat is fined. Procedures are changed worldwide. And Captain Robert Pish is awarded the Superior Airmanship Award, for gliding a wide-body passenger aircraft over 120 kilometers without engines. The longest dead-stick landing in aviation history.